You're now listening to The Creator Code, the podcast dedicated to unlocking the secrets of your favorite online creators. Each week, we will deep dive into the tech, tips, and tricks to find out what truly makes them tick. Whether you're a new creator just starting out or an accomplished veteran, this show is made for you. And now, here's your host, MattyTingles.
Okay, we are live. Welcome to the very first episode of the Creator Code podcast. I'm your host, MattyTingles. This is the podcast where we unlock the secrets of your favorite creators. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so excited to go on this journey with you guys. This is a safe place for everyone. We're going to have a blast and hopefully talk to some of your favorite creators. Thank you so much for being here. Before anything, please remember to subscribe, leave a 5-star review where you're listening to this. Also, video of this podcast will be on the Creator Code Podcast YouTube channel. So make sure to check that out and subscribe if you would like. Today, we have a very, very special guest joining us. I am talking about 1.4 million subscribers. I'm talking about over 400 million views. I'm talking 184,000 on IG. Absolutely killing it. One of my favorite follows on Twitter. Of course, I'm talking about ASMR Glow. Glow, how are you?
Hi. I'm so good.
And welcome.
Thank you. I didn't know half of the things you said. I was like, did I have that on IG? Yeah, really? That's cool.
Oh, thank you so much for being here for the first episode. It means a lot. I'm so excited that you're here. This is going to be a blast.
It's going to be fun.
How are you doing?
It's so cool to start this.
Right?
I'm so happy for you.
Thank you. I think it's going to go well. I'm very excited. And for the people out there, I made this podcast because honestly, I started this because I was kind of tired of getting asked the same questions over and over and over by media and by whoever. And so I thought it would be cool to start a platform for creators out there who want to learn, first of all, because you're going to learn a lot just by hearing the creators that you like speak about things, and also just to talk about the things that you wouldn't normally hear on a publication or and so I'm very excited that you're here. I'm very, very excited. This is going to be fun.
Yes. Let's get this started.
Let's go. Okay, so anyway, welcome everyone. This is the Creator Code podcast. Let's get right into it. All right. Where did the name ASMR Glow come from?
It comes from, I have a background in makeup. Mm-hmm. So at the time, I used to put blinding highlight on my cheeks. I still remember that. That's terrible.
Okay.
Now it's just subtle. It's a subtle glow. So it comes from that because I was like, ASMR lipstick, ASMR mascara, and it's not good.
Yeah. Okay. And then you came across Glow and ran with it.
Yeah. Okay. I was like,
Okay.
It's just like the glow. It's positive. It's nice.
I like that. That. Yeah, it's positive. It's like and especially for ASMR, it's warm. It's like relaxed. It can be taken a lot of ways.
You know what? I never thought about all this when I picked the name. Everyone is like, oh my God, the glow of the moonlight and stuff. And I'm like,
they're building a lore for you. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I just thought of the highlighter, but why not?
Right. That's awesome. I don't know why. I'm always curious where specifically in ASMR people get their names.
Yeah, because it's part of the personality, I feel.
Yeah. I also realized today, I don't know why this has never hit me, but I feel like I'm one of the only people that doesn't have ASMR in their name.
Yeah. I always noticed that in your name.
Yeah. I think I don't know why I did that.
Good Night Moon doesn't either.
Right.
And that's a thing.
Yeah, it seems like most people have it in their name, and
or
I wonder
have whispers or something. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
I mean, but Tingles is in. I don't know.
It's kind of related. Yeah.
Yeah. I I've been doing this for years. I just noticed that today that like I didn't put ASMR in the title.
It fits though. It's unique.
I think so. All right, let's get to know you a little bit. Born in Israel,
Yeah.
correct? And then have also lived in France and the UK.
Yeah.
So you have been around. You have been to some places.
Yeah.
And then and you recently moved to the US. Talk to me about that and the decision to come to the US, and then maybe just some.
Do you regret it?
Just some, like, do you regret anything? Or no, I'm kidding. Do you what are some changes that you've noticed?
So first, like, I came for the job, like it's so weird to think of this as a job, but it is. Yeah.
It is, absolutely.
And yeah, because a lot of the opportunities, like, it's always in the US, whether it's like acting or anything in like entertainment, it's always in the US. So I was like, I probably need to go to the US, and I'll probably get a lot more, I hate planes. I wanted to go to like VidCon and stuff like that, just like do events. I was like, it's all there, so I need to go there.
Yeah.
But then coronavirus decided to come and I didn't do any of it. I was so pissed. I was so pissed because my last year of uni in Israel, I had my exams right on the VidCon when there was the ASMR panel.
Yeah.
And all of you guys were there, and I was like,
yeah.
And then I was like, okay, so let's go next year.
Got it.
And the next year I got coronavirus.
I know.
But what's changing in America, people are very different.
Yeah?
People are, yeah. But they're nice. I think like it's just the kind of people you can strike a conversation with, like with a cashier or someone like that, like randomly about your day, and it's so nice.
Yeah.
Like the daily life is really, really nice. Also, you have great houses. They're gigantic.
in like France and UK and stuff, are people not as friendly, or just
they're very different. So the UK is I know a lot of people are going to tell me like you're wrong, but the people I met are sweetheart. Literally, when my family visited, all of them were like, "What is this? People are nice. Like, I don't get it." Like,
wow,
they're really, really sweet and very like polite and like disciplined and stuff. I like that.
Yeah.
And French people are something else. They're they're kind of like rough.
Okay.
Like, for example, when I was in uni in France, I also went to university in France.
Yeah.
They don't say hi or anything. They straight ask you the question and like, not smiling nor anything. And you're like, okay.
Wait, so they don't like
smiley.
They don't like greet you first before they just go right into it.
Yeah, like when it's like young people, they just like that's it. And I'm like,
whoa,
hi, I'm Sharon. How are you?
Right? Yeah, that's
even
strange.
in the stores and stuff. Like I didn't see a lot of people smiling. So I've always said that I was more a UK person at heart.
Interesting.
That's why I moved there. But the US is really nice.
Yeah, so and I kind of feel like you haven't really even got to experience
nothing
much here, right? Like
nothing.
You got here.
I wanted to travel.
Yeah.
I didn't get anything. So that's why like probably the next year is gonna be the year of like experiencing America. I've just been invited to a neighbor's party, and I'm like, that's America.
That's
what you see in TV shows.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that's. Are you gonna go?
Yeah, but I know that Americans like to hug.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in my neighborhood they're not really big on masks, so I I'm scared that they're gonna
Oh,
try to
okay.
hug, and I'm gonna be like, "Yo, we're not there yet."
Right, yeah. Yeah,
But we'll see.
things are starting to like slowly,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah, yeah,
know,
yeah.
you
We're
know, like,
lucky, I think. We're
yeah,
lucky that it's going well, I think.
yeah. Well,
But
I hope in the next year, yeah, I hope you get to experience stuff. I hope we get to go to conventions,
do we need like
all of that.
before I leave the US is probably next year.
Yeah.
We need to do something.
Yeah, absolutely.
We need to all like
Um
meet and do something. It would be so fun.
we just need to like I've talked to Ben about this too. We need to like just like pick a location and just rent an enormous home, like just some mansion or something, and just have everyone fly in.
Yeah, and have
Like,
so much fun.
we just have to do that.
Have
We
like
have to.
content, have
Yeah.
so much fun and like bond because we never get to see each other. I can't
Yeah.
believe I moved here and I literally never saw anyone.
Yeah, I know. I mean, look, the conventions are really good for that, right? And
They
like
are.
when I was
Oh
at
my
on
God.
that panel and everything, there were so many ASMRtists like in the crowd, and then like, you know, we all got to. So conventions are really good for bringing people
cool.
together, you know, and
I can't wait. I
stuff.
really
So
I don't know if we're gonna have that this year. It's
I
probably a
don't.
little early.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about VidCon or
Yeah,
TwitchCon.
I think it's early, but
Okay. Well, I hope you get to experience
yeah,
that because it really is fun.
this.
Yeah.
That would be so cool.
Living in all those places, how many languages do you know?
I know French and English fluently.
Okay.
I can like have a daily conversation in Hebrew.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm learning Korean.
Are you?
I don't know why. Like,
Okay.
I've
Hold on.
always told myself in my life I would learn useful languages.
Yeah.
And then
I need to learn.
Korean.
Okay. So I was born in Seoul.
Yeah.
Right. So I was born in Seoul. I've never been there. It's on my list like this year, next year to visit.
Yes.
I've never been there. I'm very Americanized, you know,
Yeah.
and so I need to like learn like at least the base so I can go there and like,
I have a good
you know.
good websites. It's called
Really?
Talk to Me in
Okay.
Korean, and they're the best.
Okay.
They're so good.
What made you go with? I've heard Korean and is it Japanese and Korean are like two of the hardest to learn?
I don't know. I feel like Chinese is rough because
Is
like
it? Okay.
the alphabet and stuff. Korean is really no, it's easy. It's easy.
Is it?
It's just like the only hard thing is they have multiple levels of politeness.
Okay.
So you have to learn each of them and not make a mistake because it's really they're big on it in Korea apparently. But then I realized teaching French to my boyfriend that it's kind of the same. We have like different levels and stuff. So it's kind of the same.
Interesting.
But it's really fun. Korean.
What made you want to do Korean?
So I got into like the culture of Korea with BTS.
Okay. Yes. Got it.
Duh. And then I discovered K-drama. And my life changed. Literally, I just watched a new K-drama and I ordered noodles because they were eating noodles. I was like, there's noodles.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I like it.
Yeah,
I like that. Have you haven't been there, right?
What?
You haven't been there, right? To Korea?
No, I really want to so bad. It looks really fun and like they love fashion and I love fashion. I was like, you're made for me. Like
yes, yeah. Seoul. Going back to Seoul. I say going back. I was only there for like 3 weeks when I was born, but visiting there is definitely high on my list.
My God, that would be so fun. I feel like they're completely different, a completely different culture. Which is great, you know? We're so used to like Western culture and we're all the same and stuff.
I'm genuinely scared though because there are some crazy shoe stores in Seoul.
You were gonna say that. I was like, where does this go?
So I'm gonna have to like bring empty suitcases or like ship. I'm like scared to go in them because I'm like, this is gonna be
is just
Yeah.
so great. And like what's great is that it's not just the women. It's the men are so into fashion and you're like,
yep.
It's just great.
Oh, I know. I'm gonna have to like I need someone to come with me that will like talk me out of
Let's
like
do a
like
group.
please, yes,
An
yes.
ASMRtist group
That
travel.
would be so oh my gosh. Oh my. Okay, cool. I look, I mean, yeah, you know multiple languages and you're learning Korean. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I like languages. It's nice. Like honestly, if it weren't for English, I probably wouldn't be here in my life.
Right.
So I would be
Yeah.
stuck in France.
And also you've mentioned uni a few times. You have a degree in law, right?
Yeah, I have a degree in law from the UK. And then
Wow.
in Israel, I got a degree in psychology.
Okay. Wow.
That's it
Okay.
for now.
What kind of law what kind of law interests you? Why what got you into that?
Criminal. God. Every time I say that, people are like, psycho. Yeah, criminal law, because I grew up, my God, I was a weird child. From childhood, I was always watching Criminal Minds and like all these American like TV shows about crime and stuff, and I was always so into it. And that's why I went to law, because I wanted to be a profiler. But that's really not a thing in Europe. It's barely a thing. So I was like, I need to be a profiler. I'm gonna go to America, but then I learned that it's impossible for someone like abroad to be really a profiler. So I was like, I'm gonna do criminal law then.
Nice.
And it's so fun. It's so fun. But yeah, so I also specialized in that in psychology. I specialized in criminology. So
how accurate are crime shows, do you think?
Damn. I did that's so funny because I did how do you call I'm scared of saying the wrong word, but like when you do a project like in front of everyone, like you talk about a subject in front of everyone. Yeah. And the subject was that basically like how different is like TV shows from reality and stuff. And yeah, it's pretty much Hollywood-ish.
Yeah.
But that's what's make it fun, you know?
Right. Yeah. That's true. Yeah, just dramatizing it a little.
Yeah. Have you ever watched Criminal Minds? It's it makes you have nightmares, and I'm paranoid now for life. But it's so good.
I mean, but I get why like even shows like that like are so interesting. I could get why it would make you want to go.
You want to know
pursue that.
What's happening, and like you want to know why and stuff. I love like the psychology of criminals and stuff.
Yeah,
good.
Absolutely.
I'm insane.
And I feel like the degree in law and psychology kind of go hand in hand, right?
It's like perfect. It's literally perfect. Like I didn't know where I was gonna go with that, but it's just for my own knowledge, because I love to learn things. Yeah, it's just so much to learn. It's great. Yeah,
I love it. I love it.
My mom still thinks I'm gonna be a lawyer, by the way. I'm like, yeah, sure.
I mean, who knows? All right, so let's switch gears here. So you started your channel October 24th, 2006. 16, sorry. October 24th, 2016.
It's been this long.
And your first public video was 2 days later. Is the first video that's on your channel, like the oldest one, really your first video?
It's no, I recorded it once.
Okay.
And thought I looked terrible. And I told my brother, I cannot do this. And then he was like, well, then just refilm it. And I refilmed it. And then this one is basically the real version of that one. But sometimes I think, like, what if I had uploaded the first version? Like, maybe the algorithm would have picked it. And, like, you know, like the luck that's in YouTube, it's crazy.
Oh, I mean, this isn't even on my list of things to talk about. But I think we should talk about that for a second. Because again, like I really want this podcast to be informative for creators of any size. If you're just starting out, if you are a veteran, if you are thinking of starting, right? I think it's really beneficial to hear from experience of people who have done it for a while, right? And like you just said, the algorithm of YouTube is a mystery. It is
Madness.
it's madness. It is it's simultaneously the thing that's like most disappointing, and then it's also the thing that keeps you going because you're
Yeah.
like you're
You want to
constantly
beat it.
trying to figure it out.
I'm gonna
Right?
get you next time.
So talk to me about that. Talk to me about like how do you keep up with what we think will do good with the algorithm, and how much of it is luck?
Oh my god, so much.
Mm-hmm.
So much because it's like it can be you can post on the wrong day, the wrong time,
Yeah.
and the same video can do like terrible on a different day and a different time.
Yeah.
and even like a period, like a time in the year. Sometimes it's like
Right.
one video would have done amazing at another time, even another year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's all
Yeah.
crazy. So what I do is because it goes in waves, sort of. Someone was
Mm-hmm.
asking me, who was it? It was Be Brave, Be You. She was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh my god, my views are so low at the moment. Like, what do I do? Like, I feel like it's not worth it, basically." And I was like, I think at the moment it's the same for everyone. Like, we're all
Yeah.
going through it. It goes like this in the year. It goes like there's like low
Mm-hmm.
views and then high and then go back. And
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
was like, you just like have to hold on and like keep like maintaining your head above the water with the algorithm. And just
Mm-hmm.
what I do, I told her I try to do videos that I know do usually good,
Right.
so that it keeps me like
Yeah.
above the surface, so I can
Absolutely.
breathe
Yep.
and like not experiment. Because like if you
Yeah.
start experimenting when your views are, then it's like, yo,
Yeah.
you were looking for that.
Yeah, and like I'll say from experience too, like I completely agree with when things are like on that low, like
Mm,
definitely go with the things you know are at least
yeah.
gonna do okay,
Oh my
right?
god, yeah.
I will say though, I've experimented a couple times, and that experimental video has gotten me out of that low.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's nice.
When I started making these props from video games, like in real life,
Mm,
like that was a complete experiment, and it was when my channel was not doing. It was like kind of
and it
not
got
going
you
up,
out.
and it completely got me
Nice.
out, and so like again that goes back to like none of us know anything.
You never
And
know.
but you're right though, you just have to you have to keep going, and I think that's a big part of why it's not
Mm,
for everybody. I tell people that all the time, like doing this is not for everybody because there's a lot of people who are outcome driven, right? And so
yeah.
if they put a bunch of effort into something and then it doesn't do well, they'll go, "Oh, that feels really bad. I'm going to stop." You
Yeah.
know?
I was feeling like that for a long time. I think uh, I was like seeing a video that was doing bad, and I was like, that's it. They don't want
Yeah.
to see me anymore. They hate
Mm,
me. Like,
mm,
it's time for me to go. And
yeah.
then every time, literally every time, I was like, I did bad. It's my fault. I'm so shit.
Mhm. Yeah.
Oops, it's YouTube.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. You're good.
It's like I'm so bad at it. Like, blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
and then I learned that it just happens all the time. It happens all the time, and it's gonna go up again. But I just have to like let it pass. So now I'm like,
Mhm. Yeah,
next
I think
time.
it's something that you have to learn, and it's something that you have to just kind of
Mm,
accept that it's going to be like that, right? Because
yeah.
I think for smaller creators too, they'll look at bigger creators and go,
Why
"Well,
don't I have
they're
views?
right," but they're like when things are down for everyone,
Yeah.
they look at the big creators and they're still doing numbers that they would kill to
Yeah.
have, right? So it's really hard to not because then you get into comparing yourself to other, and that's
Yeah.
a
But
scary
that's
place
what I
too.
said to Be Brave Be You. I was like, even though we have like we're not in the same range of numbers,
Yeah.
we're still having difficulties. Like this specific number at the moment is not the normal number that I would have. So I'm still in difficulty, but obviously for someone smaller, they're like, oh my God, like it's a lot of views. But for us, it's like, no, I'm not doing good right now.
It's all relative to what you're used
where
to as
you are.
Exactly. Yep. And I'll also say, for the most part, the first quarter of every year is really rough for creators out there. The first quarter is normally pretty rough.
December is gold.
Because I'll explain, because a lot of the algorithm and revenue and everything is driven by ads. And like, when you click on a video and an ad plays and you can skip it, is what I'm talking about, right? And so in November, December, companies are spending a lot of money on ads because it's Christmas, right? It's the last quarter. They're trying to make money. So then the first quarter of the next year, they're like, we're out of money. There's no ads. Like, you know what I mean? And so, which means everyone's stuff goes down.
Yeah.
So I've been doing this long enough to know when that happens, I'm like, oh, it must be January. you know, like.
But also what's interesting is that the creators that came after 2019, 2019 was, I think, a crazy year for ASMR. Like, I feel like all our views were pretty good. Like, we had really good views. I remember Jibby and I specifically. I don't remember anyone else, but like I know that we had great views, and I think it was because in 2019 a lot of stuff happened for ASMR. It like kind of boomed in the mainstream, and so we got that huge push. But then everyone coming after doesn't have that.
Yeah.
And as well, like we started earlier, so like we do have that push still, but I feel like if anyone coming in now is going to struggle like more than ever.
I mean, I think it's harder to find your own kind of niche and find your own thing, because there's thousands of ASMRtists now, right?
Yeah.
And like, I love that people are trying, and I love that people are out there creating. Like, that's always my goal at the end of the day, is to inspire other people to try it as well, right? But it's also, like you said, I think it's tough now, I think.
I honestly wouldn't be like
I
wouldn't like to be in their place right now. The struggle must be so much. So much, because there's a really an oversaturation of the ASMR market right now. So I don't know how they're gonna, put their stamp on it and be like, hey, this is why I'm different, because there's so many. That's crazy.
And you're absolutely right about 2019 too. That there was a lot of big things that happened in media, and that was driving people to it.
So many interviews. Like I remember that was crazy. Everyone was like, what is ASMR? And I was like, you're all asking me the same question.
Exactly.
That's enough.
Yep, and that is why we're on the Creator Code podcast. But yeah, I mean 2019 was like, we did the Reese's movie. There was like a Super Bowl commercial. There was like, a lot of people were getting interviews in big newspapers and publications. Like, it was crazy.
Like Super Bowl, I remember. It was crazy.
Yeah. That's a good point. I think that's a good point.
Yeah.
Was there a certain creator or video that kind of sparked your curiosity into trying to make videos?
Yeah, ASMR requests.
Oh. Let's just take a second.
She's a
and
goddess.
Just
goddess of ASMR.
Oh my gosh. Ali, if you're out there and you see this somehow, please either come back or contact me. I would love to have you on the show. And the whole show, by the way, Ali, if you're on it, is just going to be me just saying how amazing everything you did was.
I have her on Twitter if you want.
Yeah. Oh,
maybe I can like send her a message.
She when I want to say around like 100,000 subscribers or so, she liked one of my tweets. And it was one of those times where I'm like, screenshot, this is the greatest thing, like frame it, this is the greatest. Okay, ASMR request, that was a big influence on you?
Yeah, because she did. Obviously, I think the reason why I sort of exploded was because of my fixing you. I
Yeah.
Android like stuff.
Yeah.
And I was always in that kind of world of like fantasy, sci-fi and stuff. And I think at the time she was the only one that was doing that, if I remember well. So yeah, she was doing these futuristic role plays.
The
And
best.
obviously she was right up my alley.
Yeah, absolutely.
So she's definitely like my spiritual mother, creative mother.
Creators out there, specifically if you watch ASMR, please do yourself a favor and go search ASMR requests and specifically the Departure 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Heard.
Yeah, it looked like a movie. It was so cool.
I still, like, I've said this to my chat a lot. I say it all the time. I think that second Departure is still the greatest ASMR video ever made. I
think to this day there's probably I don't know. I don't know all ASMRtists, so there's probably a lot like that, but I feel like it's.
And that was like, she did that years ago. Like, if that came out now, it would be impressive.
It was literally a movie.
It was like a movie.
And I'm like, damn.
It was, oh my God. Wait, it was 7 years ago. Departure 2 came out 7.
That's crazy.
It came out in 2014.
She was literally ahead of her time, I feel.
Way ahead.
Like it's the kind of videos that you see now. And at the time around her, there were like Gentle Whispering, Heather,
yeah.
like only like more classic, I guess, creators, and she was there doing like crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, I love that. Yeah, so you guys, you guys were similar in style for a while, and just
I think so.
Sci-fi stuff.
Yeah, definitely. So I was like, I saw her stuff and I was like, well, I can do this too. Well, not as well, but I still gave it a try.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I think that this is just my opinion. I think that you have some of the best thumbnails in the community. Your thumbnails always look great. They're just warm. They're always like, they never look alike. Like, they're just great. Talk to me about the importance of thumbnails, and then maybe just advice on what you do specifically.
It's literally everything in a video. Like, literally you F that up and your video is gone. The algorithm will punish you for that. But I still am trying to not struggle with that, because I remember, if you go back in my profile and my channel, you can see that I had the same color every time. It was like warm at some point. It was all like you had 2 rows that were warm. Yeah. And then I was like, so if I'm a viewer and I come to my own channel and I see this, I'm like,
right.
Nothing stands out. Like there's nothing that I really want to click in, because I'm not really like meh.
Yeah.
Whereas like now when you come on my channel, it's all like different colors, so they all kind of like scream to your face like, hey, pick me, pick me. They're all like different colors. I put a text now. Thanks, Bestman. It was his idea.
Yeah, shout out to Vest.
Yes. I text, I put like different colors. I still try not to do too warm, because obviously my skin tone does not allow like cool tones. It doesn't suit me, so I do it sometimes, but it's kind of hard. I still have to push myself, but literally that's kind of, if you go on your timeline of YouTube subscriptions, you pass, and if it doesn't like literally slap you in the face with the thumbnail, then people are not going to see it. And that's as simple as that. And then they're going to pass, and then the algorithm will register that the person saw your thumbnail and went away. Yep. And that counts in the algorithm as they're not interested. So I'm not going to push it.
I completely agree. I completely agree. I think I mean, it's hard to say, because it's hard to say that it's more important than the video. But like, if you think about it, like if it's not a good thumbnail, people are not going to see the video.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? And so also, I think you brought up a really good point for creators out there. I think a lot of people get stuck in their mind of like, okay, this is what I think I need to do.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important to look at your channel as a whole as they will see it.
Take a step back, look at it, and be like, would I click on it?
Right. And just kind of put your mind into their shoes and what they will see. That I think that's really beneficial for creators to know to do, because that's so important to do, because
all the time.
You know, your after a while, your viewers know you sometimes better than you know yourself sometimes, right?
Yeah.
And like always listen and kind of observe what they are responding to.
Well, you know, I'm always actually asking my mods on Discord to pick my thumbnail, because I know for a fact that I have my own tastes, because I'm very influenced by like makeup and like beauty stuff. My choice is completely different every time from other people's.
Yeah.
But I know that I'm not watching the video. They're watching the video. So like they pick it, and every time I'm like, that's what it is, and that's it. And
I think that's a really good idea. That's a really good idea, because we can think all we want that we know what they want, and at the end of the day, you have to listen to the people. You just have to.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's good.
And also like something that's really interesting. I remember a post by Karuna on Twitter. She was saying like, I hate now that I have to put sort of clickbaity titles. And the thing is, like, you can't like go around it anymore. I feel like it's just like because YouTube is oversaturated. You have like, as annoying and stupid as it looks, you have to like be creative on the titles, because you know, in our older years, let's say, so old, but in the younger years of our channel, we could say just like ASMR haircut, ASMR scalp massage, and now you write that and it's like
boring. It's boring. They've seen it. And so that's another thing outside of thumbnail that's really important is the title, because I think even in the last couple years, and this is all, by the way, this is all part of the job that we do, is keeping up with these trends and these things that are happening and changing, because it's changing all the time. And I think in the last couple of years, the titles, it's really been interesting to see it change from like ASMR doctor roleplay to now it's basically explaining what we're doing in the video. Right. So now it's like checking, like checking your eyes for, you know, instead of just eye exam, you know? So that's really interesting to just see. And a lot of that goes around like, there's certain words that we just kind of have learned not to put in the title, whether that be the algorithm or demonetization, stuff like that. So, any creators out there, just know like it to always observe what's working and what's not working.
Like, even if it looks stupid, and if it's like you don't feel comfortable with it, unfortunately, like that's the name of the game right now.
It's
like
the game.
It's you have to play the game, or if you don't, like, that's a risk to take, and then your channel will probably not be seen.
Yeah,
it's stupid.
YouTube is again. That's why I say it is not for everybody. I don't think it's for everybody.
You can't be discouraged. Like, you have to keep on like pushing and stuff. It's
all right, let's switch gears. I want to talk about something that you are working on that I am very excited for. I want to talk about your candles.
Yay.
So let's talk about it. One, just kind of tell me how that came about, like how you, why and how you wanted to do that. And then, tell me about it.
So I have a mom who's instead of a cat lady, she's a candle lady. And I literally grew up with scents, and like also like her perfumes, like everything was so like the scents were so loud at the house. So I always grew up with like a perfume
Yeah.
around me, and I discovered Yankee candles, I remember, in the UK, and I had an obsession ever since for scented candles.
Okay.
And I always in my life since I was a child, I was like, I want to create something, like whatever it is. I want to create, like be creative and stuff. And I think it was last year or maybe the year before, I was like, why not make candles? Because
Nice.
it's kind of easy. But then I discovered that it's it's a process.
Not, yeah,
A process,
definitely a
like
process.
science, calculations and stuff. But so I was like, hey, what if like, I mean, it makes sense with ASMR. I feel like it's kind
Yeah.
of related. It's kind of cool. It's like something relaxing and it's easy. Like, what if I made my own candles? And and that was it. And then I made them, and I this is it.
Yeah.
Can't ever look back.
And also candles glow,
They glow.
right?
Like that should have been the freaking name of the business, man. I can't believe I missed that.
I'm so excited. I'm really not. It may come across sarcastic on Twitter. I'm not being funny when I say I'm ordering all of them. I
Oh
love
my God.
candles. I love candles. I obviously would like to support you, of course, but I think it's really cool. Again, another lesson for creators out there. I think it's really smart once you get to a certain point to start diversifying and doing things, as long as it doesn't necessarily take away from your channel,
Your
right? Because you
job,
want to keep that going. But I think it's really smart to diversify and start doing things outside of,
yeah. I think you have to, in a way, whatever it is, whether it's like maybe Twitch or something. But I discovered recently that it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think because you never know what YouTube hasn't stuck for you.
Seriously.
Maybe sometimes they're gonna delete your channel or anything. Like you never know what's gonna happen. So have something on the side is like the safest thing you can do, and like the wisest thing you can do for your channel.
I agree. Any
It's
can you give
full-time.
me any info on or any update on the candles and like?
So I just changed one of the scents.
Okay.
Because listen, I have time, because like the trademark is so slow and making tons of like mistakes. So I have time.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm just like taking my time with the scents in the meantime. But I think I have 2 scents that are pretty much 3 cents that I did like about 40 candles per scent.
Nice.
Myself.
Wow.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And I'm testing this one right now. And which is a node to my mama.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, it smells like my mom.
I was gonna ask, are the candles in the background like
it's all tests.
Boy.
I make like a million tests, so I have about 40 candles around the house.
Oh boy. Okay.
But yeah, like I don't know. I want to have a summer collection, so I'm trying to like space them, but it's becoming more and more difficult. But whatever, if it has to be close. But I'm trying to launch in like May at some point.
Oh wow!
I don't know if that's gonna happen, but I'm trying. Like I'm literally making candles every day. Like
wow!
My batches of 20.
Nice. That's so cool. I love it. And like you said, it does kind of go hand in hand with ASMR too.
Yeah, it's kind of like
it is kind of an extension of your brand and in the community. So
I honestly hope that people will like it. We'll see. It's exciting
really
in a way because
cool.
I don't know where it's gonna go.
I am certain it's gonna do well. That's very exciting.
Yeah.
Very, very exciting. All right, so let's get into this. So back in November, which has been a while now, you did a fun video with Jubilee.
Yeah.
Remember that? Okay. And in it you said that it took a long time for people around you to understand what you do. And I think that that's for sure something that pretty much every ASMR artist has struggled with for the most part. How do you describe it to someone now?
I say that's what I was wondering for like my the neighbor's party. I was like, what if they're asking me like what I do? I'm gonna be like, okay. So if I want to go fast, I'm like, I work on YouTube and hope that they misinterpret it and think that I'm like
right
in the just in the tech team. But if like I have time and they want to know more, I'm like, I make relaxing videos on YouTube using sounds and visuals. Nice. So like it speaks to them, because I feel like if you start talking and like tingles and triggers and stuff, people are gonna be like,
for sure, yeah. Keep it vague, yeah.
Like
I'll say this though. I'll say this, and this kind of goes back to the year 2019 and it getting bigger. For the most part, if I tell someone that I do ASMR, they know what it is or they've heard of it. I found that like a lot of people are like, oh, okay, I think I've heard of that. Like maybe they haven't seen it, but like I wouldn't say it's a household name, but I think a lot of people know what it is. Yeah.
So the thing is, like, I'm only talking to about middle-aged people here.
Right. Yeah.
Like, for example, the people who vaccinated me and like they do small talk and stuff, and they all like they never know what ASMR is, but they always ask me for my channel, and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna go and check it out," and I'm like, let's not make it weird.
I had an Uber driver in LA ask me what I do, and I was like, "Oh, I do YouTube." And he was like, "Oh, I've driven a lot of YouTubers around. What do you do on YouTube?" And I told him ASMR, and he was like, "Oh, I think I've heard of that. What's the channel?" And this was like a 40-minute ride to LAX for a flight, and he asked me in the first 5 minutes, and he, for the rest of the trip,
it was going to be long.
He looked up my channel and was watching my video on his phone.
Please keep your eyes on the road.
Like, yeah, he had it playing in like the whole ride. And I was like, this is the weird, like, I appreciate the view, but it's like, this is so, like, you could have done that.
I don't know how to do that, because I can't even, like, I can't hear myself. I can't see myself. So I would be like,
it was rough. It was a rough ride. Yeah. Okay. And I think what I've done is I just have, like, for ASMR artists out there, especially if you're struggling to explain what you do to family or to friends or whatever,
stay vague.
My advice is stay vague, but also just come up with something that you have memorized and that you can just say over and over.
That's what I do all the time.
You know what I mean? Like, come up with a sentence that you're comfortable with, and then you can just say that, and that's it.
It's exactly what I do. I keep repeating the same sentence, and people are like, "Oh, that's cool," and I'm like, "I'm glad you like the definition."
Oh man, yeah, I love it. How about okay? So we spoke about COVID a little bit. And honestly, yeah, you came to the US in like the worst time in
wait
a long time.
There's
like
more.
Yeah.
There's some more. I just learned. I want to die. I just learned that there's billions of cicadas invading the East Coast, like at the end of this month, and they're like wild. They don't know how to fly, so they fly like into stuff and into you, and they can like grab your stuff.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
Did I mention they come every 17 years? And of course, I'm here on the 17th
year. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, no,
you can't do this to me.
You're getting a very unique US experience, for sure.
I don't even know how I'm going to take my dog out. He's going to take himself out. Like,
yeah.
I'm not like, no.
Yeah, because the cicadas are like kind of big.
They're huge, and they're like in the trees, and apparently they pee from the trees, so like don't get under it.
Oh no! Okay.
And like there's billions. I was like, why am I here? I'm gonna move to the West Coast for a month.
Seriously,
for a month and a half. That's great.
Yeah. What do you feel like you miss most about the world pre-pandemic?
Oh my God. Just small talk. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm so happy to go to the neighbor's party because just talking to people. It's so
Yeah.
weird. Like, I'm so introverted. Like, I'm a loner, everything you want, but I still feel like humans need that
Interaction.
basic connection. Just like,
Mm-hmm.
it feels so sad not to be able to like get a little bit close to your neighbors and like get to,
Yeah.
just small talk, or like even the cashier, and people are trying to avoid each other. I feel like it's really
Mm-hmm.
dark for
Yeah.
humanity.
Yeah. I
But
agree.
yeah. Mm.
Yeah, and I think what I've learned in the last year is like that's definitely something I took for granted too. I like
Yeah.
it was just so
So
normal
much.
that it
Going
just
to the
happened.
cinema,
Right.
going
And then
to the
when
cafe.
it's taken away from you, you're like, "Oh no, I miss this a lot."
Wow, I should have done more of that. Like,
Right.
and
Yeah.
then you're like, wow, I just spent a year of my life inside,
Mm-hmm.
like
Yep.
without doing all of these things that I love. Going to
Yeah.
the mall, shopping for freak's
Yeah.
sake.
Yeah. Exactly. Yes.
It's so
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, you said movies were mine, and then traveling, of course. I
Yeah.
miss
Oh,
traveling a
yeah.
lot.
Traveling in the summer was so sad.
I bet. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I feel bad. I feel like you're getting such a bad representation of
But
here.
it's okay. It's okay because I booked my holidays for the summer,
Okay.
and I was like, whatever, I'll get corona. I don't care. I can't do this anymore.
Wait, you booked for this summer?
Yeah. I was like,
Oh, okay. Nice. Um I I
I'm
I need to
listening to
do
Biden.
I need to
He's saying by the 4th of July. It's like,
yeah.
we're
Yeah.
good.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Well, that's exciting. That's exciting. You have stuff booked, right?
Yeah. I just need the sun because I come from the south. I'm like,
Yeah.
I need
True.
the sun. I need a pool. I need anything you can give me at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Um I agree. Yeah. All right. You have uploaded as of today, you've uploaded 451 videos. That is
Damn.
quite a catalog. That is a lot of videos. One, does it feel like you've done that many to you? And then also, do you have a favorite that you've done?
Does it feel like that many? No, because I don't remember my videos most of the time. It's so weird.
Yeah.
I put them out, and then the ones that I'm like meh about, I just like completely forget them. So the only ones that I have in mind are like the big like role plays and stuff, and I'm like,
Right.
well, that's not a lot.
Yeah.
And, like,
I
doing
agree.
stuff
I
with
agree with you.
someone.
The like normal ones, like I don't really think about, and it's
Yeah.
and that actually is part of my next question too, because you've done a lot of amazing cosplay, role play videos. Do any of those stand out? Like, which ones stand out to you as your favorites?
My favorite was definitely well, I feel like I've done one recently that was my favorite, and I don't remember what it is.
Just proving your point right there. Like,
I literally
you don't
forget
remember.
my videos as soon as they're. I know that at the time I loved Pennywise because
That was
it was so
amazing.
strange. It was so strange. First, I thought that everyone would no one would watch it, and now I see that there's 1 million on it. And I'm like,
Yeah,
where does
yeah.
that come from?
That was oh my. Yeah.
So strange. I was in Israel where like I couldn't order anything because the post office was terrible.
Oh, okay.
And so I was like, I'll get that costume. And so I made it myself. And I didn't
Wow.
know how to do SFX makeup. And I just
Right.
like learned everything myself, and it turned out
Wow.
good. And
It
I
did.
still can't believe it. But I think my favorite also damn. Oh yeah. The Perfect Wife in Halloween.
Yeah.
It was so weird. I just like the weirdest, I think. Like the ones that you don't expect and you're like,
Right. I mean, I think
great.
as a fan and also just like what a lot of people talk about with you also, like you have to throw in the Wonder Woman. You have to throw Wonder Woman into that, right? I think
Really?
people love that. Yeah,
Like
you've done a
heaven
lot
and
of
hell. That's
amazing
fun.
yeah. Where do those ideas come from? Specifically, just cosplay, role play, where it takes, more setup and more planning.
I think it's movies, TV shows. Like for example, I watched a K drama, and there's like that one character that doesn't talk, and probably no one ever, no one
Yeah,
ever sees him in the show.
right.
And I'm gonna make a role play out of that. So it's just like random stuff.
Yeah,
Like just like books as well. All the pop culture. I just love that, and I feel like
yeah,
I don't know if we see a lot of that. Yeah, there's still like a bunch of ASMR artists who do that, but
yeah.
yeah, I like fantasy and stuff, so it's really nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for me a lot of them are just like what what will look realistic for me, right? Which is
Yeah.
it's why I've done like the Russell from the Up movie, because I look just like that kid,
Oh
and
my
like,
god, that was
you know what I mean? Like,
great.
thank you. It's just like that's where it starts for me. Is just like, okay, so first of all, what can I pull off?
Yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah.
You know
Oh,
what I mean? Like,
that's a big thing. Yeah, I
yeah,
wouldn't play a blonde, for example. Like it just
exactly. Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
yeah,
Um, you've done some amazing stuff. I think
thank
everyone would
you.
agree with that. You've done.
Yay.
All right. Switching into I really want to talk to you about this because I think it'd be interesting. I want to talk to you about demonetization
Mm, mm,
on YouTube. And before we get into that, I want to preface this with for creators out there. I'm specifically talking about when you get to a certain point with your channel, you can start generating revenue.
mm.
You can start making money from your videos. That revenue comes from the ads that are played right on YouTube. And in my opinion, I think that ASMR in general, and then specifically females who make ASMR, have been targeted many times with being demonetized. And what that means is that they'll put a video up and it'll be demonetized, which means that video will not make revenue, right? And so a lot of it is so unfair and confusing and frustrating. So talk to me a little bit about that, and has it affected you at all?
Yeah, I remember in 2019 also what made ASMR get into mainstream. It was so weird. It
Mm-hmm.
was that PayPal. I don't
Yeah,
know if you remember, right? Like,
I do. Yeah.
and I think it started with me getting
Mm-hmm.
banned from
Yeah,
PayPal
it was. Yeah.
because like there were a bunch of trolls who like I think like reported me to PayPal as like
Mm-hmm.
someone sexual or whatever.
Yeah.
And so they started banning everyone. I remember Creative Com was banned too. Anyone who was doing ASMR. Um, and at the same time, because like ASMR was kind of exploding, YouTube was starting to control it. So they started
Yeah.
demonetizing stuff because they were like,
Right.
that doesn't look
Right.
right. What is this?
Yeah.
Boobs.
Mhm.
So at the time I was hit pretty hard, I remember.
Hmm.
I was hit pretty hard, but then I learned to adjust. I
Right.
learned to adjust, and also I don't make like content that's too like YouTube
Res-
controlled.
r-
I guess, like for
yeah.
example,
Yeah.
like ear licking and
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
Yeah.
So, but at the time they were demonetizing anything and everything. So it was crazy at the time. But
Mm-hmm.
then I feel like I learned to adjust, and then they also kind of learned to adjust. So like
Yep.
I feel like they calm down. Like
Yeah, I
they're
think so.
really kind of chill right now. I know that still, I think Freebie still has problems.
It still happens. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
it doesn't happen for me anymore. So
Wow, that's good.
yeah, just yeah, it happened in December for like the big end of the year video that I made.
Okay.
Like it's so random, but then when it happens, I'm like,
Yeah.
I know that I can't fight it because also when you go and talk to them about it, it's like talking to a wall. Like there's no one to
It's
answer you.
impossible. Yep.
Impossible. So
Well,
you're just like, eh.
and that's the frustrating part, even for me, seeing friends like Friv deal with that, right? It's like the responses that they get are like clearly
Infuriating.
copy pasted, like impersonal,
Yeah.
and they just don't make sense. And it's so frustrating that you can't talk to someone about it
Yeah,
to
that's
explain
the
yourself.
problem with YouTube. It's very hard to like get a human, like it's humans. They're humans, but they're talking like robots.
Yeah.
So it's challenging for creators, but yeah, I think like first, like the goal is once you get hit once, try not to get it again for like in a short period of time, because
Exactly.
otherwise, like they're gonna be like, okay, I see you. Like we're gonna be on your back.
Exactly.
So just like, yeah, you have to manage it in a weird way, but
yeah.
I'm glad that they
again,
adjusted.
Again, like I just from my perspective, it seemed like they were targeting ASMR, but specifically female ASMRtists too.
Yeah.
Because like for me, like I have never had one video demonetized ever.
No way.
And so it's like, and again, like the content I make
Really?
obviously is more, it's like very GPG-ish anyway. But still though, I had female friends who were making that content that had nothing to do with anything, and it was still getting demonetized.
Yeah, I think it also had a lot to do with like the people who were reporting us. There were a lot of like trolls and stuff who were misogynist and
sure.
So they were.
That's a good point.
Us. Yeah,
that's a good point.
Like really pushing YouTube to be like, okay, we're not taking any risks. So, but that's where the importance of sponsors is. Yes, because it can sometimes save like so much in the month, so much revenue in the month.
That is a perfect segue into my next topic, because I want to talk to you about sponsors, because you're exactly right. We've talked about it earlier. YouTube is this. YouTube is up and down. It can be really, really good, and then it can be the next month it can be bad. And so like even for me, like I bought a house last year. And when I went to the mortgage companies and stuff and showed them like all of my pay stubs from YouTube and everything, they're like, this is kind of up and down a little bit, you know? And thankfully I had really good sponsorships that I could show them that are like, right? So talk to me about sponsorships a little bit, and like how they have changed your life, really.
Everything. So Ben, GB's husband, is taking care of my sponsorships, and honestly, it changed. Yeah, it changed everything, because I think what the first thing that creators have to keep in mind is that this thing is so ephemeral. Like we're not gonna be creators forever. Let's be real. It's gonna be short and sweet, and a lot of creators don't have like a job next to it, or don't have like a degree to fall back on or anything. So for a lot of people, it's gonna be rough after that. So you have to probably get like as much, like to put as much money aside for your next life in a way. And sponsors are just like, it saves everything, because YouTube is so, like, as we said, like December is great for revenue, and then January, February is like terrible. So like sponsorships just sometimes can really make stuff better, and also less up and down and up and down, and like regularize. Wow, that's a new word, isn't
it? No, absolutely. Like on those months where your YouTube revenue is down, those sponsors can absolutely keep you where you want to be.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And it's after that, it's like the choice of the creator to pick what sponsors they want. Like it's their responsibility and stuff. But I feel like we're really lucky, because in the beauty community, sponsorships are like a really badly received by the audience.
Oh, right.
Yeah. But for us, I feel like it's it's really something normal at this point. Yeah, like I don't see people like ever complaining. Also, it's nice that we do sponsorships and ASMR because it's just like
Yeah,
adding to the video basically.
for sure. Yeah,
But
I think you're right though.
Mm.
I think like, and I think that's changed over time too. But because I remember like seeing years ago people getting sponsors and people being like, "Oh, sell out! Like you're just doing it for money."
Yeah,
and it was a bad
changed,
response.
definitely. Yeah,
And it's definitely changed. And I also think ASMR has changed that for a lot of other genres too, because the ASMR community in general is so much nicer and supportive than any other
they
genre.
want you to do good.
Exactly. And so there's so many people. I get so many comments when I do a sponsored video that are like, I normally don't like sponsored stuff, but I watched it because of you. Or, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so I think that viewers have become way more accepting of that too.
Yeah,
and honestly,
nice.
I think part of it is that we're open about it.
We're
open.
We're honest. Mm-hmm.
We're honest about it, and even what we're talking about now, we're like, it helps us so much. You know?
Yeah.
So nice. And shout out to Ben. Ben helps a lot of people. I know we both work with him. And what Ben does, and I'm going to have Ben on the show, so I don't want to get too much into it. But what Ben essentially does for creators out there, a big thing is kind of knowing your worth, right? Because once you get to a certain point, you'll start getting these emails of sponsors, right?
Yeah.
And probably like 80-90% of them are scams and not real.
Or just want to pay you like in coupon.
Right.
Like that. And you're like, what do you think I am?
Yeah. And so knowing your worth is a good saying, but it's also really, really hard. It's really hard to ask for what you think you deserve, because sometimes you don't want to lose it if you ask for too much, and you know.
Yeah, I think something important to consider is that nowadays I feel like people more rarely watch TV. I feel so. Advertisers know that now. They know that the influencers and like YouTubers and stuff are the TV. So you are doing the ad. You're sparing the ton of money that they would have wasted on an ad.
On a commercial,
so, Yeah, so you can afford to like
that is a great point.
Yeah.
That is a great point. And also, and also most companies now, like you said, it'll be built in their budget for the year. Honestly, it's built into
that's what they do now.
To do integrations with influencers. Yeah.
That's nice that they you know like are like change that with time and are not just relying on TV, because I don't know if it's changed like in like 2020 and 2021, but I know that in France it's harder because they're not yet at this point with ASMR, at least. Like it's harder to find sponsors because they don't yet understand the power of creators. Right. But here, there's so much potential.
Everything.
That's great. Yeah.
Okay, so I love that, and also just I think my advice for creators out there is you know, of course, try to figure out your worth and try to figure out what you would like to get out of it. But also, if you struggle with that, which I know a lot of people do, get help. Find someone that can help you with that, right? Which is what we did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Ben does, again, I don't want to get too much into it too early, but like Ben does negotiations and stuff. He does the things that are awkward for us sometimes.
Or even ask like creators who have the same numbers as you, like if they have sponsorship, like how they are paid and stuff. But it's always like in the same views. Like
honestly, you brought up a really good point as well. When I was starting out, the best thing that I think that I did for my channel and for me is reaching out to other people and asking them stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
I remember when I had under 1,000 subscribers, Heather Feather DM'd me on Twitter and like gave me a bunch of advice.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? Like I'll never forget that. And honestly, that's why I do that now. I try to do that when I can to help other people, because I'll never forget how that felt when Heather, who's like this
massive,
monolithical, like you know what I mean? And she helped me.
It's really important, I think, for also creators of color to ask around and like compare with like white people so that they make sure that they're like paid the same, because
great point.
Apparently a disparity and stuff. So like that can't be shushed, you know. It needs to be very clear for that. So yeah,
that's a great point too. That's great advice. Yeah. All right, I have a few more for you. I want to talk equipment with you, and I'm going to do this with every creator that I talk to.
I try to remember my camera quick.
I know. I am just always curious, just what camera and microphones are you using? Because I know a lot of people want to know.
So camera, I think, is Canon 80D.
Okay.
I think it's that. Yeah, is the one I took it because it has the flippable monitor.
Screen. Yeah.
Yeah, and I hate having to like look at another screen or anything, so I just like took that one. It's great. Yeah. And microphone, the Rode NT1s. Yeah. I have two of them, but I love the Blue Yeti so much.
Yeah.
I bought a new one.
I have not. Did you?
Yeah, because I had the Blue Yeti Pro. Oh my god.
Yeah.
The biggest advice I can give: do not get the Yeti Pro.
Yeah. I don't think I ever had the Pro.
It's so bad.
Really?
Apparently, it has more noise than the Blue Yeti,
okay.
And I'm like, how it's Pro. But everyone complains about it.
I have not used the Yeti in so long. I need to.
It's so good.
I need to, because I love the Yeti.
Yeah, I love those channels who just use the Blue Yeti and are able to get away with that. And I'm like,
right?
I wish I were you.
Well, and that's a good point, right? Talking about equipment, because I think now there's so many big creators to look at. I think when people are first starting out, they're like, "Oh, okay, I need I need the Rode NT1s. I need the you know." And I think it's good advice and good to know that, like, really you don't need that, especially when you're starting out, right?
No, you really don't. Like, oh my god, there's so many creators like Karuna, Grace V, who just do the Blue Yeti, and sometimes even an iPhone,
right?
And they have huge numbers. So I'm like,
absolutely, yes. And that's just, you know, I think there's so many great ASMR artists, and I think that people will just find what they like, right? And so there's a lot of people. I know Friv has talked about, like, she just loves lo-fi, like that's her, you know what I mean? And lo-fi meaning like basically just using either your phone camera and microphone, or like the little Apple earpods, so good, like all that. And so, like, I guess what I'm saying is, like,
you don't need to start like
there you go
with the most professional stuff. Like, people don't care. Like, as long as you sound like something, you will attract a certain type of people who will be your people. And then, like, if it's worth it, then you will like upgrade. But as long as you don't know if it's worth it or not, I don't feel like it's necessary to spend that much money.
Because I agree.
A lot of money.
It is. It really is. All right. Do you? I mean, I think we mentioned Vest before. So, does he do your editing?
Yeah. He no.
Okay.
What am I saying? No, he's not doing. I was thinking because he's reading I'm writing a book, and he's reading at the moment the prologue that.
Nice.
And I was like, he's reading the chapter right now, and there's nothing to do. Nice. But he's not doing my editing, but he's looking at my analytics when he can, and just like telling me like why it's going wrong, why it's doing well and stuff, like, so
nice,
because I don't have the patience for that. I don't want to look at my analytics.
Yeah. So are you editing then?
No, my boyfriend edits my videos.
Love it. Okay.
I'm sorry for him. I hate editing so bad. I hate seeing myself. I hate hearing myself.
Yeah. It's definitely something you got to get used to when you're. Yeah, and honestly, I'm still not used to, like, I rarely ever watch any of my videos after I put it up.
Oh yeah. Oh,
once it's up, I'm like, all right.
And then he puts them up. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't even
Yep.
want to know what it looks like. Just
But
put
that's
it out.
I think that's really good that you have someone that you trust
Oh yeah.
to do that, because like I edit all of mine, and I'm to the point where I'm like, I've been told by many people to look into getting an editor, and my biggest thing is trust. My biggest thing is like, yeah, but like it's giving up a lot of control.
So the first video he did, because he's not an editor, that's not his like normal job. But the first video he did, I remember he missed a clap.
Oh yeah.
And obviously it was rough for people, but then like he understood like the gravity of it. He was like, oh my God, that's so bad, and he never did it again ever. So like even if they do one mistake, then they'll catch it immediately. Like, I can't do that again. And like there's so much pressure for them because they know that their work is gonna be out there.
Right.
But it's just
oh my God, I've had so many mistakes. Not like a lot. I've had maybe like 6 or 7 out of 300 videos. But like I had one, and I don't know why, like I missed it. I don't know what happened. But I had one where I was doing a role play. I broke character. I thought I was like, all right, cut. Broke character, and then I was singing Backstreet Boys. And I left it in the video, and it's still on YouTube. And like it's right. And so like I was just, and then I put the video up, and I was like, cool, putting a video up. And then there's hundreds of comments that are just typing the time in the video. And I'm like, oh no. I'm like, what did I leave in? Oh, this is bad.
I did one once that was like, I honestly like, there's like the mistakes that you laugh at, and then there's the mistakes that you're like, how the fuck?
Right, yeah.
So it was like, I noticed the clap. It was at the time where I was editing myself the videos, so like very early on, and there was a clap, and I had already posted it. So with a YouTube editor, you can take off something, and instead of taking out the part,
oh no,
I took out the full video and left the part.
Oh my God.
And they were like, Sharon, I think it's wrong.
Okay, in your defense, I used that once and kind of did the same thing, because
it's so bad.
It's like the opposite of how we edit. Like when you highlight that thing, it keeps what you highlight, rather than when you edit, you highlight it and delete it.
I have to relearn every time how
that's so funny.
Stuff works. And I was like,
oh my gosh. Yeah. And just so you guys know, the clapping thing that she's talking about is just to line up video and audio so you can see the clap wave. Right. That is hilarious though. That is oh my God. And I know people are gonna comment and ask what video the BSB singing is in. I don't even remember.
It's still there?
It's still there. Oh yeah. It's still there. Because the thing is that it was so funny and not like bad that it became like a running joke.
It's not loud or anything. Like it's
right.
Just, like, funny. Yeah. Oh my God. Exactly. Someone in the comments find it. I need to find
it. Someone put the timestamp. It's not hard to find, I'm sure. All right, so last couple things. I want to talk to you about burnout, and if you have any just advice for creators who get to that point of burning out.
Oh my God. I went through that twice, I think, in the same year. Last summer, and then I think it was in February or something. So I think you have to think of the consequences of the burnout. And I feel this puts everything in perspective, because when you burn out, you will not want to create any content. And like anything that you create, you're going to hate it probably. And you're going to like hate doing it.
Yeah.
And then for a while, you won't want to do it. So it's just like, do you want to be in that kind of mood? Because it's really damaging. Honestly, it's awful when you do a job and then suddenly you hate it and like you don't want to do it. Is awful. So it happened to me, and what I did both times, I stopped everything. I was just like, it's okay. They have so many other ASMR artists to watch, like, while I'm
Yeah.
gone. And yes, of course, the algorithm is gonna punish me, because it is gonna punish you for sure.
Mhm.
But you just have to to do it, because like no one is gonna do it for you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
your job is relying only on you.
Mhm.
Like, if you don't do stuff, then it's not gonna get done. So
Yeah.
you have to like take a step back and take like 5 days at least for
Mhm.
yourself. And it's not like you don't think about it anymore. It's just that you don't do it. You
Mhm.
don't touch like any
Yeah.
equipment. You don't touch nothing. You can still think about it, but basically what I did was like I just reset my mind and was
Yeah.
like, okay, so I'm taking these days for just myself. I'm gonna
Yeah.
rest a little bit, not work.
Nice.
But I was still thinking, like, what can I do to make this better? Like, what
Mhm.
video would
Yeah.
do I really want to make? And like, because I remember in February I was thinking of all these videos that I wanted to do, but I didn't have time to like prepare for them because there was so much to prepare, and I
Right.
already have so much to do. So I was like, it was all like chaotic. So I stopped for 5 days. I was like, okay, that's enough. That's enough.
Yeah.
Like, let's pause. They don't need to have a video like every time. I don't need to put out a video.
Mhm.
They're not gonna die
Yeah.
if I don't wanna.
Right. Right.
Yeah, and my channel is not gonna die. It's gonna be okay,
Mhm.
even if it's gonna take a hit, but it's gonna be okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
And so I
Yeah.
just like, it allowed me to really take time to order stuff for my channel that I wanted, for like the videos
Nice.
that I really wanted, and like
Yeah.
to get a list of ideas and to really get my, like, creativity going, because
Yeah.
it was drained. I was like drained of my energy and everything. It's horrible because like when you have the creative juices like taken out from you, it's like
Mhm.
everything else comes out. You're like, I don't want to do this then.
Yep.
But the algorithm will it's okay. It's like, yeah,
Yep.
it's like scary, and
Yeah.
it's taking a hit, but it always comes back around. So like, it's gonna take time, but it will come
Yeah.
back around. So your mental health is, oh my god,
So you're
so much.
okay. So in your experience though, because I think that is a big fear for creators is like taking that break,
Yeah,
even when they know they need to. Taking that break because they're
it's literally the
scared that
same.
their channel, right? And so when you did that, do you think that you have recovered? Do you think your channel has recovered since?
Yeah, because it's so simple, because when your mental health is being punched
Yeah.
constantly, then your channel
Mm-hmm.
is being completely like buried down. And it's not doing well, because like when you're in this mental health, it sort of means that your channel is not doing good, because if it were doing good, then you wouldn't be
Yeah.
really questioning it.
There you go.
So
Yep.
like, if you're at this point, then that means like, if you continue, your channel is just gonna get dragged in the mud. And
Yeah.
like, stopping makes your channel like start like breathing a little bit, even though the algorithm is like being like, you didn't post your video.
Right.
It doesn't matter, because your channel is not like doing good. Because even if you post
That's true.
constantly, it doesn't mean that you get views. It just means that
Exactly. Yeah.
you're keeping up.
Exactly. Yep.
But you
Yeah.
want to do stuff that really you want to do, because your
Mm-hmm.
channel is going to feel alive again. And
Yeah.
it's just so important. Your mental health is seen on your channel, I feel.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've gone through that a couple times, and I can go back and visually see on my channel when that was happening. Because
Yeah,
the
the
videos were like
content was like,
lazier, they
meh.
were like not great. They were just
Yeah, yeah, literally in the summer I was having that breakdown, and it lasted for like 2 months. It was
yeah.
huge, and for 2 months I I don't know what happened, but I wasn't doing role plays, like creative role plays.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so I had this mental breakdown of like, I'm doing stuff that I don't like, cuz like I love doing role plays. Like that's what
Yeah.
feeds my my creativity. But like the normal videos, I just like make them like meh, you know, I put them
Right.
out. But so you could see that it was only that in the summer, and I wasn't feeling good about it at all. It's just
Yeah,
like you see it on your channel when you do stuff that you
you
don't
do.
like.
Yep, I
you
agree.
know.
I agree. All right, last question for you, and this one is it's the one that everyone wants to know. I saved it for last. Name 3 things in your refrigerator right now. Go.
Remember, sliced meat, sliced
Slice.
nothing, apple juice, and
Nice.
applesauce mixed with strawberries, and you can't taste the strawberries in there. It's dog shit.
I love it. I love it. That's so funny. Listen, I first of all, thank you so much for being here. I think that you are so fantastic.
Thank you.
I'm lucky to be able to call you a friend, and I'm also a fan of you. I think that you are great.
Thank you so much. I'm a fan of
course. Oh, thank you. All right, where can they find you online? This is your time to plug away.
Oh, you can find me on Twitter at ASMR Glow with the lower dash. I don't know how to call that.
Underscore.
Yep. And then ASMR Glow on Instagram, and then ASMR Glow on my channel, on my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And that's it, I think.
Okay. And then hopefully soon, hopefully some candles soon.
Oh, yes. Very soon.
Be on the
hopefully
lookout.
This month or next month.
I'm so excited.
I'm going to post everywhere
excited
to like warn everyone. It's going to be fun.
Yeah. I'm so excited.
Yay.
All right, Glow. Thank you so much for being here.
You're so welcome.
This was such a fun first episode. Thank you guys so much for listening. Please remember to subscribe, leave a comment, leave a review wherever you're listening to this. This was so much fun. I'm so excited to go on this journey. It's going to be really fun.
Yeah.
All right. This has been the Creator Code Podcast. I'm your host, MattyTingles. Be safe out there, please. Be kind to others and yourself. Okay? See you next time. Bye.